Very good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. Today we'll be looking at Psalm chapter 118. First, we'll have a brief overview of the psalm before we delve into a small point of reflection. So, turn to your Bibles, either physical or digital, whichever is to your comfort, and let's get into it. So, looking at the overview of the psalm, this psalm is again similar to the Psalm 116, the latter part, where this is a praise psalm where the psalmist is praising God for his enduring and everlasting mercy. So, in the first part of the psalm, the psalmist praises God by first giving a call for thanks. Then he gives a testimony of God's mercy, how God has helped him against his enemies, and finally, in the latter part, he rejoices in how God has delivered him. And in the second part, which is from verse 19 till the end, the psalmist says how God has opened the gates of righteousness, and then he celebrates the chief cornerstone, which we'll look into deep later, the chief cornerstone, and ends with a sacrifice and praise. So, what can we take away from this psalm? Now, obviously, the main takeaway is that as the psalmist himself or herself has repeated multiple times, is that God's mercy endures forever. That is what we can, because in this psalm, that phrase God's mercy endures forever is repeated 34 times. If I have counted correctly, it should be 34 times. The psalmist has repeated that phrase 34 times, and especially looking at verse 22, knowing how God's mercy endures forever, verse 22 says that the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This verse is a verse which is directly referencing to Jesus Christ. How Jesus Christ was the stone which the builders, meaning the Jews, rejected, and now Jesus Christ has become the chief cornerstone for the new covenant. That's how this verse is essentially foreshadowing. So, this psalm is very good in the sense that how he says God's mercy endures forever, and then there is a small foreshadowing of Jesus Christ himself, the ultimate show of mercy by God to us. How Jesus has died on the cross for us, not because we asked for it, not because we deserved it, but because we needed it, and because God was merciful enough to send his only son. Not that we deserved it, but out of his own mercy, he sent his only son to bear our own sins. So, this psalm is a very good reminder of how God's mercy for us is timeless, how God's mercy for us endures forever through the work of Jesus Christ. So, that's what I want us to take away from the psalm. It is a reminder that God's mercy endures forever, and that we should be very thankful for that, and we should be very grateful for that, and thankful for another reminder of, or a foreshadowing of, how Jesus becomes the chief cornerstone of the new covenant. So, a small reflection is, how does enduring God's mercy challenge you to trust, or challenge you over human confidence? So, obviously, this is a very difficult question for us. That's why I want you to reflect on this, which is, how would you, or how challenging it is for you to trust God's mercy over human confidence? Thank you.